Welcome to Celebrity Interviews with Paul. I have with me today the biggest name, the biggest celebrity I think I will ever have the honor of interviewing. Today, I have with me Santa Claus. Welcome, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So good to have you on here. Now, Santa, what is your favorite thing? What does this season mean to you? What does the season
Well,
mean?
the season means to me a time of people coming together. Though this year we must be safe, we come together in spirit. And it's a season to me of joy and of friendship and love that we share for one another.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It is a time to come together, but to do things safely and to share that joy and love for one another. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned coming together safely. Are things different? Do the elves have to socially distance these days? How is the pandemic impacting what you do?
Well, actually, at the North Pole, we've not been impacted because nobody comes to the North Pole other than my elves, Mrs. Claus, of course, and myself. So thus far, we have had no impact whatsoever with the virus.
Well, that's certainly a gift. How do you think, is anything going to change Christmas Eve for you?
Oh yes, sir. Christmas Eve, we are going to follow all the guidelines and all the protocols to make sure that not only we're safe, but everybody's home that we visit. We're going to have on masks and we're going to change gloves at every home so that everybody remains safe with our visit.
I'm glad you're thinking through these things because it is kind of a frightening time in that regard. Now, have the reindeer, have they complained about competing against like Amazon's next day delivery service and all that? Has that been a stress for them?
Oh, no, not one bit. After all, we deliver the entire world in one evening.
Jeff Bezos has nothing on you.
No, sir.
Well, of all of the gifts you've given, millions and millions and millions of gifts, is there any one gift that stood out as the favorite gift that you ever gave?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't have a favorite gift as in a present that I've given that would be that, but is how I would view that is what I've given is I have given joy throughout the world to all the girls and boys, and that's what brings joy to Santa.
I was going to ask you what you love most about Christmas, but I think you just answered that question too, didn't you?
Yes, sir, that is what I love most about Christmas.
Now, so many of the children now with COVID are struggling with school. They're having to be online in school, all that. You know, they're not being able to be with their friends, and that's a challenge for some of them. Do you have any tips for kids to stay on the nice list during Zoom school?
I have several things that children can do to stay on the nice list. One is always be helpful. When you see some people in need, help them. If that's your parents, your siblings, whoever, try to be helpful to people. Also, listen to the adults, mom or dad, listen to them and follow their advice. That would be a couple of things that I would say would keep you on the list of being on Santa's good side.
That sounds like a good word of advice for everybody to be able to stay on the nice list. Now
Yeah.
we're talking on Zoom, you and I back and forth. Is there a way other people can talk to you on Zoom?
Well, this year, because of the pandemic, I don't get to see all the boys and girls personally. I miss that. And I was thinking of a way that I could still see and interact with the boys and girls. And I came up with Zoom. Maybe we could Zoom. And I went and talked to the good people over at the Open Book Theater. And they know how and have the wherewithal to help me do a production like this from the North Pole. And they've been most helpful, and it's been fun. In fact, they even had an idea to come up with it. If you sent me a letter, I will actually have the letter here and can go over it with you.
That's awesome.
By Zoom.
Yeah.
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 And on some occasions, we have actually had a gift and sent it to somebody that day right from my chair.
Wow. That's amazing. That
Yes,
must be those reindeer of yours that can go all over the world in one night and work again.
Yep.
Now, I've been growing my beard during November, and my wife was saying it's starting to look a little Santa-esque. Do you have any advice for me for beard development and grooming as I move through the rest of the month?
Well, let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. And I gotta say, Paul, you have grown a lot since I saw you years ago.
Oh,
I've got a visitor here for you.
Hi, Paul. Merry
hi,
Christmas.
Mrs. Claus. So good to see you. Oh, what a blessing. What a blessing. I remember that mall back in Virginia when I was just a little boy, and I came and visited you. You were so kind.
You have grown so much. You have become a very handsome man.
Oh, well, you're too kind. You must need prescriptions replaced on your glasses if you say things like that, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Certainly.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, Paul.
Merry Christmas. Well, whenever I do these interviews, my last question to everyone is always the same. Where do you find joy?
Where do I find joy? I find joy beginning the day after Christmas. That's when my inspiration starts
Yep.
for the following Christmas. And it builds through the year, and knowing that when Christmas time comes, I'm going to see the smiles on the faces of the boys and girls throughout the world that I can reach and do things for and help. That's where the joy comes for Santa. And
Santa, do you have any final words of wisdom or anything you'd like to share with us today?
I would like everybody to take into consideration these are unusual times. Always try to be safe and find joy and happiness in the things that you do each day. I know it's very tough, hard times right now, but they are going to get better, and we're all going to be happy once more. I wish you the merriest of Christmas, sir, as well as everybody in this world.
Merry Christmas to you, Santa, and thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day for this and for sharing. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Santa. Bye-bye.